Welcome, one and all. Welcome to Aussizz Education Summit 2022. I heartily welcome all our guests. We'll be starting our session now. We have Aayushi Shah here. Ms. Aayushi Shah is a qualified education consultant with over 6 years of experience in this field. She's helped countless students in their journey for success. We also have Daniela Martinez here from TAFE NSW. Welcome, guys.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. I should actually say good afternoon now because it's already 12. Welcome to Aussizz Summit Day 2. Now, today's day will be focused on, again, very, very popular topics and the courses amongst international students. The day is inclusive of the hot topics such as nursing, community services, teaching, and social work. So you all will be getting information such as course options, career pathways, skill assessment, and future pathways. So stay tuned for the day. Do not forget to give us the feedback on the post to claim the bonus prize. You may have a chance to win $200, $300, or even $500. Be as descriptive as you can in your feedback. Your feedback is actually highly appreciated and important to us. Now, let's start the topic for the session, which is community services. I'll just start. Let's start the topic for today, which is community services. Now, basically, what is a community service? So it is a service which is offered in the form of support to public. It can be information, it can be just normal advice. It's a practical help and combination of services. It can be financial help. Let's say some common examples are child care, aged care, disability support, etc. Now, community services industry is one of the largest industries areas in Australia. Close to 1.7 million people were employed in this industry, which is projected to increase to over almost 1.9 million by end of 2023. Now, community services deliver much needed help when it comes to providing emergencies, housing, food relief, counseling, childcare services, etc. One of the very rewarding careers is community services. Whenever you feel that you are already in some sort of career, but then when you come to this sort of careers in your future or in your tenure, this becomes a rewarding career because you feel very proud in giving back to community or in giving back to the society. It does make a difference. It is well-being through care, support, education, welfare, and related services. Now, basically, sounds similar to social work. So what is the fine line between community services and social work? Now, social work describes the time given by the citizens to help improve the local community, whereas these individuals typically receive no remuneration for their work, whereas community services, it develops includes providing positive activities for children, regional and national government. Maybe they both spend money on community development, community projects, and it will enrich your education and prepare you for your future. In fact, many employers will look to see how you maximize your education by giving back to the community. Social services are a range of public services intended to provide support and assistance towards particular groups, which is commonly included and disadvantaged. The main groups are catered towards the families are families, children, youth, elder, women, and the disabled. So we have community services options available for international students. The basic level, of course, start from certificate 3, basic, yeah, 4, certificate 4. Now, what is the duration of certificate 4? So pretty much this course runs from 6 months to the entire year. The normal colleges available are Canberra Institute of Technology, ETEA, etc. You can also do a certificate 4 in disability if you're not from the background. So you may start the career with a disability and then leading to diploma in community services. So disability services is available at JTI, SCEI, Lead College, IHNA, Australian International College, etc. The usual fee varies from $5,000 to $8,000. The entry requirements are pretty much all overall IELTS no band 5.5 with no bands less than 5. Diploma of Community Service. Now this is again one of the very popular course. Now if someone is already doing diploma and if they want a career change, they can straight away enroll into a Diploma of Community Services. However, if you don't meet the direct entry requirement for this course, you can start the course with Certificate 4. So Certificate 4 in Disability leading to a Diploma of Community Services. Now, the duration of diploma is usually 1 to 2 years. The fees ranges from $9,000 to $16,000 approximately, depending on which institute or TAFE you go to. So we have 2 years course, can give you a skill assessment as a community service and a welfare worker. The course must be accredited by ACAW. Now, the colleges that offer Diploma of Community Services is Acknowledged Education, 𝐬𝐭 TAFE, SCEI, Test TAFE, etc. So you can also apply for a 2-year post-study work visa when you study the diploma course. Placements are usually part of their coursework because obviously the coursework itself has community services where they give the job placements to get the experience of the real world. So placements are usually the part of the coursework. Courses can be packaged with Certificate 4 in Disability, as I've already mentioned before. The entry requirement of IELTS is no overall 6, no bands less than 5.5. Okay, now Bachelor of Community Services. Again, we have this bachelor, which is pretty underrated because most of the students opt for diploma course because anyways after diploma course they can go ahead and apply for a post-study work visa. So, however, you do have a career in Bachelors of Community Services. The course duration is 3 years full-time. You can work as a community development workers, case managers, and service coordinators. Providers are Box Hill, Torrance, Acknowledge, etc. The courses can be provisional or fully accredited. Fees again ranges from 9,000 to 12,000 per semester approximately. Now the requirement of IELTS and PTE is overall 6, no bands less than 6. Requirements are pretty similar to that for an offshore student as well. So even if you're planning to come on a bachelor's of community service course, this is one of the very good course and a rewarding career, and you can apply for the Bachelor's of Community Services with a good IELTS score and with a good university or a TAFE. They need to have a cognitive background to start the course. Either they can, if they don't have a cognitive background, they can start for diploma or a certificate for leading to diploma, leading to bachelor's. This course is again exclusive only because there are not many options available in countries like India, Pakistan for these community services, specialized in community services. So I would say this is one of the very niche course when it comes to international students. Now, what are the careers that you can go ahead and apply for, or what are the rewarding careers that you'll be getting here? So after completion of this course, you'll be ready to pursue a rewarding career such as you can become a counselor, basically. You may work in general or specialist area of a community service work, such as child protection, family support and child development, community development, consultancy, counseling. All these rewarding careers, you have many areas that you can jump into. Now, when it comes to the courses, what does these courses give you? So these courses basically prepare you to work in a broader range of community service roles. This can be in the direct partnership or in the direct practice with the firm as well. Areas of employment may include case management, family violence support, child protection, refugee, and general migrant settlement. You'll also be qualified to work as a child welfare officer, social housing coordinator, community service manager, or in a related field. University or institute usually incorporates a range of methods to assess the performance and the application of the required knowledge and skills. Now, this range of methods that in university or they usually incorporate are research projects. So this gives you an actual real world idea on what to do, how to deal with the real world scenarios. Now, research projects, individual and group presentations, simulations, knowledge test, case studies, etc. As I've mentioned before, I'm reiterating again, many colleges does include placements as part of their coursework. Community service projects will enrich your education and prepare you for your future career at the same time. In fact, many employers will look to see how you maximize your education by giving back to their community. Again, what are the career outcomes? Now, social work is again a part of growing human service field. Graduates can work across the level, across local, state, or federal departments, private or non-government human service organizations. Now, the targeted group of communities, now majorly, you can have all these people worked for the community or with the community. So let's say children, women, men, senior citizens, people with disabilities, with housing difficulties, Aboriginal Australians or Islanders, immigrants and refugees, people with specific health and medical problems. Qualified professionals can work in various fields. Now, again, you have, when you study a community services, there's not just one field that you're confined to. There are multiple options that you can go for. There are rewarding careers. There are multiple careers that you can opt for. So you can choose a specialization and go ahead with that. So community service worker, case support worker, child welfare worker, career counselor, mental health coordinator, school counselor, child protection officer, etc. Now, when the students enroll for this course, or when you think about this course of community services, it does pop up into mind that what are the areas that I can work for, or what are the fields that I'll be going into. So obviously, when this sort of question arises in your mind, you are not clear with how many options are actually available and how many how much vast field is this community services. So there are multiple options and there are multiple occupations that you can nominate or you can go ahead and work into. The degree of community services will teach you skills and professional attributes. So by studying the community service, learning outcomes describe the knowledge and the capabilities of the graduate who excel in certain areas. Obviously, this is one of the most thing that is lacking in current youth. A lot of communication, the critical thinking, problem solving has becoming really fading, I would say, in certain people, because obviously they don't look into this point of view of when it comes to working in a teamwork or managing something. So this is very crucial thing that they do learn in terms of communication, critical thinking, problem solving, etc. A career in community service is again one of the best way to make a positive impact on the world by helping people to live a happy and healthy lives. A video can explain and give you an overall gist. I'll see if I can play this video for you all so you can actually have a look at the video. Um, okay, now community service in day-to-day life, it has given a major change from what it was before and what it is post COVID thing. The community sectors have increased. There is a 10 if you give a ratio here, there is a community service involved in every sector of your life. Let's say it can be choice and empowerment, daily life, employment, family, finance, health, housing, justice. Everywhere there is one or the other form of community service that is involved here. The sector not only confines you with certain things, but it gives you an immense options to go ahead and explore your field. Now, let's go with the employment and the careers. Employers of community and personal service workers considered around 3 applicants per vacancy to be suitable. On average of 10% of the employers received no suitable applicants, and more than a quarter of employers had unfilled vacancies. The most common reason applicants were found unsuitable was due to the lack of general experience in the occupation. So this is the main thing, because even if it's one of the most popular course amongst individuals, it is again one of the underrated course as well, because not many people opt for this course. Again, this is I'm talking about before 5 years and 6 years, but then after COVID, after certain time, this has become one of the very large industry, and people are aware of this community service course and the career outcomes in a very good way. Now everybody is aware and everybody still wants to go ahead and study this course. Now, counselor is one of the major occupation that you can nominate or you can study, and you can nominate yourself to be in the occupation. Now, let's say over 25,000 people are working as a counselors, and over the last 5 years, it has actually increased dramatically. You can become counselor just by earning bachelor's degree. However, a certificate qualification can also give you a particular job role. The average salary starts from $68,000. Now, this is again one of the very good salaries that you can compare with any other job role here in Australia, because it starts from $68,000 and you can go ahead. Now, this data is again from the verified sources from Australian government and National Skill Council. Job outcomes for a counselor are career counselor drug. So even within the occupation, there are sub occupations that can be given. So let's say if you are nominating yourself as a counselor, or if you're willing to be a counselor, there are other counselor roles that you can specialize into. For example, it's a career counselor, you drug and alcohol counselor. So there's not just one field that you're confined to. Again, there are multiple fields within the field that you can nominate, or that you can opt for to study and be a drug and alcohol counselor, family and marriage counselor, student counselor, etc. Mental health coordinator, again, one of the very rewarding career, but then very challenging as well. So here, the statistics have shown that 1 in 4 adults will experience mental health issues. This means that more than a quarter of the population require treatment or support. Specific course can be undertaken to give you a qualification. Now, the again average salary for mental health coordinator is 73,962 per annum. Again, it has got subcategories in occupations where job outcomes of mental health are psychologist, clinical psychologist, psychiatrist, and psychotherapist. Working with disability. Um, Again, after doctors, after nurse, I think the first thing we look forward to is a disability person caretaker. So they do such an immense good work that we really have to appreciate them. It's again one of the very rewarding career that you think of when you're doing it yourself. People with disability are a valuable and important part of our community. Almost 20% of Australians have a disability, meaning 3.96 million people in Australia require some type of care. Now there are 175,000 workers in aged care and disability sectors, with the growth expected to continue very strongly. Now the average salary or is compulsory. Average salary is 55,421 per annum. For this, you only have to have a profession or qualification up to certificate 3. Now, certificate 3 or 4. So, as I've mentioned before, certificate 4 is one of in disability support worker. You can even start practicing your disability, which is only 6 months up to 1 year course. Now, again, the job outcomes includes disability support worker, special needs teacher, and personal care nurse. So again, when we think of certain areas, we do not have more options available. But then when you think of disability, there's not just disability as one occupation. You do have it's a support worker, a special needs teacher, personal care nurse, etc. Again, working in aged care is one of the occupation that you can go ahead with by studying community services. Over 1 in 7 Australians are over the age of 65, and therefore 15% of the total population. This will again increase in future. Now, the average salary for working aged care is $50,000. Job outcomes includes nurse, home care assistant, personal care activities officer, etc. Just a minor data apart from this, when it comes to a 10-year change in the employment from occupation. Now, let's say if we talk about February 2000 till Feb 2020, the community service was 6,87,800, and the current scenario is 1,411,900. Now you can see the major difference that has arisen from what it was before 10 years before and what it is currently. The community sector and development has 2019 skill forecast suggests the top priority skills for the sector are all soft skills, ranging from the teamwork and communication through flexibility and self-management. The top five is one of the in the top five, community services falls under one of the generic skills. The community sector is expected to grow over the next 5 years, driven by the combination of NDIS, government funding, and income donations. According to the job vacancy data, the top requested skills by the employers in the sector were communication skills and planning. The most advertised communications and the occupations were health and welfare workers. Obviously, one of the very popular courses which has now become after COVID. The top employers were the New South Wales government and the government of Victoria. The top locations for job advertisement were New South Wales and Victoria. After the COVID pandemic, it has significantly disrupted volunteerism in Victoria. There was a sharp drop in volunteering rates in the early pandemic period. The volunteering participation rate was cut in half, and then there was a net decline in volunteering hours of almost two-thirds. At the same time, it involved organizations in the sector described a lot of adaptation and transition to the new model. Now, the report highlights of impacts of COVID-19 on volunteering has actually become one of the hot topics and engaging and retaining volunteers during the pandemic, and finds there is a further potential, and people have started their productivity and community well-being back into giving back into the community. Other rewarding careers in community services includes working in Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander services. Now, obviously, these people need some specific electives that can teach you the importance of cultural protocols and practices. Now, whenever you study a community services, you do have to have an elective chosen at the time of studying the course, and you can go for any of these electives I've mentioned before. Working in child protection services again is one of the rewarding careers. As a child protection practitioner, you're responsible for investigating reports of potential harm to a child. One of the most emerging industry these days, because a child is a future of Australia. A child is a future of the next generation. So taking legal action and processing through the court action, writing reports, providing. Again, this is one of the very challenging role to study, very stressful, but then at the same time, it is very rewarding as well. It can also be incredibly rewarding career, knowing that you're able to make a difference in the lives of children. The average salary starts from 95,108. The job outcomes, again, the sub occupations that includes within the same career is youth worker, child protection practitioner, family support worker, welfare officer, etc. Working with drug and alcohol problem, again, you seem that this is just a very small occupation, but it's not. It's actually one of the huge market in Australia. And then even then that occupation can give you an average salary of $82,368. What is the benefit of working in community services? Now, obviously, fair and competitive salary package, as I've mentioned, each individual occupation's salary before, it has got very competitive salary package compared to other occupations. Generous and comprehensive leave, structured progression and professional development opportunities, diverse working environment, job security, etc. Now, obviously, you can see from the data collected here that there is a future demand. There's a large proportion of 44% of community and personal service worker occupations that projected to have strong future demand. Now, let's say if you see at the table here, community service worker and personal workers were 86 the number of occupations reviewed. It has actually increased, and you can now see the future demand has increased up to 44% compared to all the other occupations, because it was already a low occupation which was not very popular in previous years, but since past 5 6 years it has actually increased to what it was before. Future market. November 2021 was considered as the lowest month, where a sharp decrease was recorded in the job advertisements. Again, this is one of the months that was recorded with the lowest job advertisement, whereas October was considered highest. Despite recording a fall in job advertisement in November, it does have a recorded of strongest increase in the job advertisement over the 3 months since the Delta outbreak of COVID-19, which was up to 48%. So there were 8,700 job advertised after that. So this is within 3 months to have this number of jobs is again extremely amusing. Recruitment activity levels are most elated for laborers, community workers, and personal service workers. So there has been a drastically increase in the number of jobs I've already mentioned before. According to the National Skill Commission's vacancy report, community service workers have seen a major increase in demand. Now the stats shows that the pre-COVID job advertised was 12,000, whereas now the current stats is 26,600, which is more than double in previous 2 years. So you can just study this course and have immense opportunities to work in the field. So there is almost double than what they were before in before 2 years, and you have plenty of job opportunities available within your own field. Now, individual stats. Here I would just mention about each and every state in Australia, so you can have a fair idea about what community service actually gives you and what particular state. Let's say when we talk about NSW, there are 4,000 jobs pre-COVID, but now it's almost, again, you can see there's more than double, 8,800 jobs are in the current stats show. Victoria was 3,600 pre-COVID, and now you can see there's 7,800. South Australia, again, 740 pre-COVID, and now it's 1,400. So you can actually see a fair amount of more than 50% rise in each and every state. Tasmania, it was 150 and now it shows 350. ACT, again 160 to now 590. Queensland, 2300 to now 5300. Even WA, 1200 and now it's 2300. So you can see there is no decrease in any of the states here. In fact, the increase is more than 50%. So you can see how much job opportunities you all have and how much career growth you all have. Again, these are all the references, and the facts and the data is actually taken from National Skill Commission and the Australian government. So you can have all the references right here. Just to summarize, I'll say personal gain is also one of the major factors that gives it to community services. Now, people gain most from their community service projects. When they volunteer, they help people. They've never interacted before. Now, let's say this is like a direct contact that allows people to see life from a different perspective. They re-evaluate their opinions about others. Youth or young people of today who get involved in community services come out with a very well-rounded worldwide view. Another benefit in participating in the community service is a greater understanding and appreciation for diversity. Now, appreciating other cultures and breaking down stereotypes is important to becoming a responsible citizen and even a better person. By participating in a community service project where the interaction is actually required, when the personal level of interaction is required for the personal relationships to grow, these personal relationships help people have formal, informal, consistent interactions throughout the time and often break down the negative stereotypes. Now, breaking stereotypes is again one of the things that you do make a difference into the society when you are one of the community service worker. Along with breaking down the stereotypes, community service work can assist people in realizing that those they are helping and working with no difference from themselves. This realization can actually lead to empathize with others. Now, learning to understand the needs and the motivation of others, especially those who live different lives from their own, is an important part of living and is an important part to the society. Now, this leads to the view of humanity. And that's why it's one of the most rewarding careers and most rewarding occupations that you can actually have. Just by studying this course, you can actually just go and reiterate here. So again, just by studying this course, this will actually prepare you to work in a broad range of community service in the direct practice. Now, again, as I've said before as well, the areas are not only confined to certain occupations, but they do have many occupations. The employment includes case management, family violence support, child protection, refugee and general migration, settlement and housing support. The community service sector is the second largest industry within the industry in demands of the demand for jobs, because the job demands are extremely high. Though the stressful career, community services is the best way to make a positive impact on the world, helping people to live happier and healthier lives. Hope you all have enjoyed this session. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me right now.
Okay. Ayushi, thank you for the wonderful session.
Thank you.
Yes, I really like the fact that you also touched on the commercial aspects of it in terms of giving an absolute focus on the job statistics across Australia. And at the same time, you also touched on the empathy aspect of it in terms of talking about the humanity and the service-oriented nature of the job. So the presentation was very thoughtful in putting together both the aspect, the commercial aspect, as well as the empathy aspect. So now we are joined by Daniela. Daniela is the Director of Student Recruitment at TAFE NSW. TAFE NSW has an absolute suite of courses when it comes to community services. So she's going to talk about community service courses at TAFE NSW, as well as TAFE NSW in general, scholarships, intakes, course information, so on and so forth. So Daniela, welcome to the session.
Thank you, Deepa. Thanks very much. First of all, thank you very much to Aussizz for putting together this summit, this education summit, and all the students that are online, especially in this warm summer weather. So thank you very much for being here. My name is Daniela Martinez, and I'm the International Students Coordinator for TAFE New South Wales. So I'm going to be presenting about courses that are available in TAFE New South Wales. And I will focus a little bit more on the Diploma and Certificate 4 and Diploma of Community Services. So first of all, For those who don't know what the word TAFE means technical and further education. TAFE is one of the largest sector, the education sector in Australia. So the TAFE brand is very popular in Australia. Therefore, that's why every state in Australia have their own TAFE. So Victoria, they have their own TAFE, and also Queensland and New South Wales. So we have TAFE New South Wales. So what are the advantages of studying at TAFE New South Wales? There are many. Number one, we are owned by the state government, so we are public. And also we offer many multi-sector courses. So we offer English, vocational, and higher education courses. Also, we have a wide variety of courses. We offer more than 100 courses. So students have all these choices of courses. Also, we have our nationality mix is very vast. So we have more than 100 students from different nationalities. So this is a very good opportunity for you as a student to meet a student from every part of the world. Also, we offer security. All our campuses, they offer security for international students. And when you talk about TAFE, if you as a graduate, everyone in Australia will know what TAFE means, because we've been around for more than 140 years. So all the employees will know about TAFE. And also we have a very large number of local students. So for you as an international student, will be an amazing opportunity to meet local students. I'm gonna play a short video about TAFE New South Wales. So. Okay, I'm gonna touch about our locations. We have more than 40 locations across New South Wales. We are one of the largest TAFE in Australia. And we have about 11 locations in Sydney Metro. So according to the course, what you choose. So for instance, Petersham is well known for all the design courses. St. George is well known for nursing. As well as Meadowbank is a new hub for information technology. Ultima, of course, is very popular because it's in Melbourne CBD. So we have about 14 locations around Western Sydney. So we have campuses in Blacktown, Castle Hill, Bankstown, Liverpool, Nirimba, etc. Then if we move across outside Sydney, so we have more than 20 locations in regional New South Wales. So we have locations in the north. So the most popular locations obviously is Newcastle. A lot of students choose to study in Newcastle because it's close to the beach. The cost of living is cheaper than Sydney. Also, we have locations in the south. Wollongong is also popular because there's the University of Wollongong there, and at the moment we are working in a very popular pathway with the University of Wollongong. So you as a student will have more opportunities to further your studies with the University of Wollongong. And also on the western, which is Tamworth, Orange, and Bathurst. Okay, as I mentioned before, we have more than 100 courses. So the popular vocational courses areas are the agent support, agriculture, animal care, building and construction, design, business and finance, commercial cookery, laboratory technology, engineering technology, hairdressing and beauty, hospitality, remedial massage, sport and fitness, dental technology, so you name it. So we have a wide range of areas for you to choose from. The most popular courses, number one is the Bachelor of Early Childhood Education and Care. This bachelor is 4 years, so the work placement is a total of 840 hours. So as I said before, TAFE is very popular because we are very practical, and this is one of the courses that students are required to have a work placement. So the total hours are 800 hours. And this is very popular because there's a lot of demands in this course. So the students can work in a early childhood education center, and also they can be managers, of course. The Bachelor of Business is very popular. This bachelor is 3 years, and as well, it has 120 hours at the end of this bachelor, which is the last semester. The students can choose where do they want to have the work placement, whether if it's in a marketing company, advertising. So the faculty will get the students work placement, and then at the end of the studies, the student will need to present what they learned during the work placement. And this work placement is 120 hours. Also, we have this very popular course, which is called the Bachelor of Information Technology. There are two majors, the cyber networking and the data engineering major. So a student can choose between those two majors. The duration is 3 years. And this is very popular because this degree prepares students to sit for recognized industry certifications such as Cisco, CCNA, and the AWS. Those are packages that are very popular when you are looking for work in this sector. So, and also the teachers that teach these courses, they're well prepared. Mostly they are working in this sector as well. Also, we offer the Bachelor of Applied Commerce. There are two majors in this bachelor, the accounting and financial planning. And this bachelor lasts 3 years and also has an industry internship, which is 120 hours. And the career prospect within this bachelor, at the end of the bachelor, the student can choose to become an accountant, an investment advisor, or institutional banking analyst. Also, we offer the Certificate 4 in Commercial Cookery or the Certificate 4 in Patisserie and the Advanced Diploma of Hospitality Management. This means that the student can package either of these two courses. They can package the Certificate 4 in Commercial Cookery with the Advanced Diploma, and also they can package the Certificate 4 in Patisserie with the Advanced Diploma. So it becomes 2 years. And the course fee for this course is $33,800 for the commercial cookery and $33,790 for the patisserie. As you know, there's many career opportunities for this. When at the end of this course, the student can work as a chef, commercial cooks, kitchen supervisor, area manager, operations manager, etc., and so on. And this is another very popular course, the Diploma of Nursing. This diploma is 1.5 years. At the end of this diploma, the student can become as an enrolled nurse. And if the student has the proper visa to work in Australia, they can work as an enrolled nurse. So at the moment, we have established a package program with the University of ACU, UTS, and Wollongong University. So what happened is that the students finish with the Diploma of Enrolled Nurse at TAFE New South Wales, and then it will continue into the second year of the Bachelor of Nursing. And I'm gonna touch in the Certificate 4 in Community Services. So we offer the Certificate 4 and Diploma of Community Services. So the Certificate 4 in Community Services is offered in Ultimo. So the Certificate 4 lasts for 1 year, and the total course fee is $11,910. The entry requirement for this course is IELTS of 5.5 or equivalent, and there is a work placement of 168 hours. And these work placements are compulsory. This means that the faculty will allocate the students to a work placement that is related to the Certificate for in Community Services. As you mentioned before, there's many career prospects for students who hold the Certificate for in Community Services. They can work as a case manager. They can help people that have been impacted by domestic and family violence, homeless, drug and alcohol, and mental health concerns. This is a very popular area nowadays in Australia. There's a lot of demand in community services. Also, we have the Diploma of Community Services. This diploma is offered in Ultimo, Wollongong, and Nirimba. So students can choose to continue. So with this, after they complete the Certificate 4, if they want to study only at Ultimo, they're required to complete the Certificate 4. But if the student wants to study, they want to go outside Sydney, Wollongong, or Nirimba, they don't have to study the Certificate 4. They can go straight into the Diploma of Community Services. The duration is 1 year, but of course, if the student wants to study in Ultimo and they need to study the Certificate 4 and the diploma, and that becomes 2 years. The total cost fee for only the Diploma of Community Services is $13,350, and the English requirement is an academic IELTS of 5.5 and a completion of year 10. That's the academic requirement. As I mentioned before, so students are required to complete the Certificate 4 in Community Services. That's only for Ultimo. If the student wants to go to study in Wollongong and Nirimba, they can get a straight entry into the Diploma of Community Services. And the work placement for the Diploma of Community Services is 240 hours, and that's compulsory. So the faculty will get the students to a work placement that is related in community services. At the moment, we are in the process of establishing. It's being approved, but we have to work in a few details about admission. So we have established a pathway with the University of Wollongong, and that means that if a student completes the Diploma of Community Services at TAFE NSW, they can get into the second year of the Bachelor of Social Work at Wollongong University. So the total duration for this bachelor at Wollongong University is 4 years, but if the student completes the first year at TAFE NSW, then it will study 3 years at the University of Wollongong. So this will suit perfectly for those students that start to study the Diploma of Community Services in Wollongong, and then they will continue with the University of Wollongong into the second year of the Bachelor of Social Work. So the Bachelor of Social Work at Wollongong University is accredited by the Australian Association of Social Workers. So this is a very important recognition to have in case that students would like to apply for other type of visas. Just gonna play a short video about community services.
I'm Anne Radburn and I'm teaching in community services. Well, I just feel so passionate about being a teacher. Those different cultural ideas that people bring to the conversation, you know, it's just really wonderful. I get a lot out of it. I learn from that, and I know that everyone in the classroom does. Coming to TAFE is a great opportunity. I think here there's the benefit of interacting with people from many different cultures.
Just going to continue with the student support services. So you, as a student, when you enroll at TAFE NSW, you will have access to a lot of support. So in every campus where we teach international students, we have a student support services person, and that person will help you from time to time. We will help workshop on writing resumes and interview skills, as well as writing essays. We also have a free language support for those students who are struggling with the English, so that's for free. In every campus, we have a library. So for instance, in Ultimo, we have an enormous library, which is 3 floors. So the students have access to use the library. There's a professional counseling on campus. And also the student will have free access to the online tutorial support. and there is a security in every campus. I'm just gonna talk about the admissions requirement. This is our application form, which is available in our website. The application form is 8 pages long, but obviously you as a student will have Aussizz to support you to complete the application. And also, this is in terms of academic requirement. This is all the academics that we require for every specific course. This information is available in our website as well. In terms of the English, normally for all our vocational courses, the English requirement is academic IELTS of 5.5, and for our bachelor's degree is 6.5 academic IELTS, except for nursing, which will require 7. But if you visit our website, you can have a look of our English requirement and academic requirements. And in our application form, there are 6 GT questions that every student will need to complete. This is only to prove that the student have done their homework in terms of researching the course that they want to do, where do they want to study this course. So the student will have to complete 6 questions. It's more about if this course is available in your home country, why they choose to study this course in Australia, explain why they have chosen TAFE New South Wales as education provider, explain the value of TAFE New South Wales course to your career, and I'm sure that Aussizz Migration will help you to answer those GT questions. This is more about the questions. This is only to prove that you have done the correct research about the course and the education provider that you would like to study. There are also other type of requirement. We accept students under 18 years of age. So we accept students for 16 years of age at 𝐬𝐸𝐿 and 17 years of age for our vocational courses and higher educations. And this is the first time that we have, in terms of a scholarship, this is the first time that we have this amazing scholarship for international students. So we have 25% of the scholarship. This is applicable for all the bachelor's degree, and it's only for semester 1, 2022. This is for February. And this scholarship only applies for the bachelor, which is 25%. And also we have 2,000 of a scholarship for those students who would like to enroll into the BED program. So if you submit your application today or this week for the certificate for or the diploma of community services, you will grant 2,000 off of the total of the course fee. So this is the first time that TAFE New South Wales has this type of a scholarship. And if you do the calculation, it's really worth it when you compare the course fee with other institutions. And the scholarship it doesn't happen automatically. The student will have to complete a scholarship application form that Aussizz Migration will help you to complete. This is available in the website. And then the student will have to write an essay introducing themselves and why are they applying for the scholarship and why they think they can have the scholarship. So we have a lot of scholarships available, but this is only like this is in terms of admissions for us to record what type of students will give a scholarship. So I will invite you to submit your applications now so you can have the scholarship that is available to you for this semester. So if you would like to find out more information, you can visit our website and also get in contact to Aussizz Group. That's all for me. Do you have any questions?
Thank you, Daniela, for that wonderful session.
Thank you so much, Daniela.
We do have some questions from audience members, as well as I have a question myself. We'll first look at, so there's a question from Mr. 𝐬𝐞𝐬𝐬𝐢𝐭 here. He is wondering about the relevancy between community services programs and the field of teaching. His question is, how can I adopt and implement community service programs in the field of teaching?
Sorry, this question is for?
Aayushi, would you like to take the question?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So community service in the field of teaching. So basically, again, this is like giving back to the community in the form of some or the other occupation. So teaching in a way, it's not directly related to the community services. However, you can still study the course. But then the teaching involves special needs teacher or disability teacher or school, special needs children teacher, some kind of, so similar kind of teachers in this field. So this is not the directly school teacher that you are looking forward to study the teaching course, but when it comes to community services, you can knock yourself in these sort of occupations.
Of course, and I guess the counseling aspect of the community service program would really be interdisciplinary for someone who's a teaching aspirant, someone who wants to work in the field of education, right?
Yeah.
Career counseling, mental health counseling, these sort of skills are interdisciplinary and they are highly needed in a school setting, in an education setting. So there's your answer. So if you're already a teacher or you aim to be a teacher, I guess you can upskill yourself certainly by doing community service programs.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Cuban, for the question. Um, Now, Daniela, I was just wondering about is TAFE NSW's course, the community service course, is it accredited? Many students wonder if it's an accredited course from the ACWA, the Australian Community Work Association Council.
That's a very good question. It's not accredited as such, but we have had a student in the past that they have asked the teacher to write a letter that the student has completed that specific course at TAFE New South Wales, and it has, it's been successful.
Right, yeah. So that means that if they are aiming for a skill assessment to be recognized, they could certainly get a personalized letter from the faculty, which would help them to get that recognition.
Correct.
And I was also wondering because our audience, they would also be looking at, because TAFE NSW, if you look at the website, there's so many campuses. Is the community service courses delivered in regional campuses as well?
Yes, in Wollongong and Nirimba.
Yeah, okay. That's
And
wonderful.
also in Ultimo, we only deliver the certificate for. That's only in Ultimo.
Right. All right. Any other questions for Aayushi or Daniela? As we discussed, guys, if you really enjoyed this session, you could leave your most descriptive review under the post. I've just shared the link in the comment section. You could leave a review of the session. Constructive feedback is always welcome. So, and if you tag Aussizz Group as well as Aussizz Education Summit, you could win prizes up to $500. Other than that, people who have been engaging in the chat box by asking us questions would also be eligible for free giveaways. That would include free PT coaching, free IELTS coaching, free CCL coaching, free PR consultation, as well as scholarships as well, if as long as you meet the school's basic eligibility requirement. So we encourage you to sound off in our comment section, as well as leave reviews on the socials by tagging Aussizz Group, as well as Aussizz Education Summit 2022. I guess we are right on time completing the session. Um, um, Thank you one and all for joining. We hope you really enjoyed this session as much as I did. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Daniela.
Thank you, Deepa and Daniela.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.